regarding your visas. And, uh, and so let's begin. What are your plans, Amish?
My plan is to be a professional pilot in the future, sir.
Okay, very good. And so you're applying now to study in the U.S., do your training in the U.S. Why did you choose the U.S.?
Yes, sir. As you know that US is known for the best aviation schools and also provides the comprehensive training programs. And studying in the US will provide me an opportunity to be a successful pilot in the near future.
Okay, sounds good. And tell me, what institute have you chosen to study in?
I have chosen Women Aviation Academy for my professional pilot course.
Why did you choose this?
Women Aviation Academy is the most reputable schools in South Florida and also provides comprehensive training for the students. And Women Aviation Academy lies in the South Florida, which is known for its best weather conditions, where students can do their training all round and complete their training in a efficient manner.
Okay, very good. Did you apply to other institutes?
I haven't applied to other institutes because uh, from my deep research, I found Women Aviation Academy to be the best among others. So I haven't chosen others, but I chose only Women Aviation Academy.
Do you know anyone else who has studied there?
I know two people who are studying there.
Okay, and what are they saying about that institute?
They are saying that the institute is very good and we can do our training in a timely and efficient manner
Okay,
without any type of disturbance.
how long is your training?
The training is about 12 months to 18 months.
12 to 18 months, and why the variation between 12 months to 18 months?
Sometimes students feel sick, and sometimes due to the bad weather conditions, the training can be extended.
Okay, and that what courses will you be studying at your institute?
I will be studying professional pilot course in my institute,
Mhm.
and I'll be doing CPL, which is also known as commercial pilot license. That is done for the training is for commercial airline and for other passenger airlines.
Mhm. Who are you in touch with the institute?
I'm in touch with Rosa Louis, the head of the institute,
Okay, the director.
the director, yes, sir.
Mhm. And what is his name again, or her name?
Rosa Louis.
Rose Alway. And tell me, do you know any of the other instructors at the
I don't know
institute?
any other
Yeah.
institute.
Okay. And how long has the director and the others been working there?
It's been 30 years they have been working there.
Okay. So it's an established
Yes,
institution.
sir.
Okay, very good. And how much is the tuition to do your studies there at that
The
institute?
tuition fee is 55,000 US dollar,
Mhm.
uh, excluding living expenses and food.
And how much are the living expenses for 18 months?
For accommodation, it will be about 750 US dollars per month,
Mhm.
and the food is $250 per month.
So about 1,000.
$1,000 for both accommodation and food.
Okay, so $10,000, $15,000 on top of the
15
tuition
to
of
yes,
55,000.
yes, sir.
So about 70,000
No,
total. How will you pay for that?
I'm not paying that. My dad is going to pay that. My dad owns his own private high school with students of around 1170, and the annual income is 150,000 US dollars.
Mhm. Okay, and so that's still a pretty big amount. And um, did do do you have anyone living in the U.S.?
Yes, sir. I have my sister living in the US, and she's also studying the nursing there. Yes, sir.
Which year in her studies is she?
She is in the second year of her study.
Second year of her
Yes, sir.
studies. Okay, where is she studying?
She is studying in Pennsylvania,
Mhm.
which is quite far from South Florida.
Mhm.
So we are not staying together. She is on her own way to study, and I'm on my way to study.
Okay, well, how is your sister paying for her education?
My dad is also paying for her, and my the income that my dad earns is so best, so he can afford for both of us.
Mhm. Do you think it will be a strain on your parents with that, having two students in the U.S.?
Yes, sir.
It
They
will.
they can afford it.
Okay. And Okay, let's talk again about your previous studies.
Sure, sir.
Tell me what you studied.
I have studied plus two or class. I have just completed my grade 12
Yeah.
from KF school. With the main subject is physics and maths in it.
What
So
was your GPA?
my GPA was 3.37.
Okay, very good. And your English test score?
My English test score is 7.
Which in IELTS?
IELTS score, sir.
IELTS 7. Okay, very good. And will you be working in the U.S. while you're doing your training?
I'm not working in US because the training uh, is the hardest part, and there is also some theoretical class. To be the best pilot or a successful pilot, we have to study hard and we have to complete our course in between 12 and 18 months. So there is no time to work out.
Okay. Will you stay back in the U.S. after you complete your studies?
After the completion of my professional pilot course, I'll be returning to Nepal and gain some experience by working as a pilot for a commercial airline or private charter company. And in addition, I'm also interested in pursuing advanced training and certifications that will allow me to expand my skills and knowledge.
Okay. What type of training and certifications are you interested in?
I'm interested in like teaching type of certification. So, yes, my dad has a school, and I have been there many times, and I like the teachers teaching there. So I also want to be a teacher in as a part-time teacher, but just to motivate the students uh, to do something best in the world.
Okay, very good. And what got you interested in pilot training?
Sorry, sir.
What got you interested
Oh,
in this
sorry.
pilot training?
Uh, since ever since I was a child, I've been fascinated by aviation and the idea of flying a plane. When I look up at the sky, watching planes flying overhead, and wondering what it would be like to be there among the clouds, this fascinated me, or this encouraged me to be a pilot.
Okay, okay. And so that's a good reason. And tell me again about your family.
Okay, there are 5 members in my family: my father, my mother, and I have a younger brother, and my sister lives in Pennsylvania, USA, for a nursing course, and the next is me. So my younger brother is studying in our own school, and my sister is studying in Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
My father is the owner of his private high school, and mom teaches there. So the total income from our family crosses about the minimum is 150,000 US dollar per year. So that is enough for us, our their child, or we to study.
Okay, very good. And that why should I give you a visa today?
Okay, sir. Yes, I'm interested in aviation, and the US and the Women Aviation Academy provides the best quality education for us to be a successful pilot, and for the nation to be a successful, and for the safe and efficient aviation industry. I think you need to give a visa for me.
Okay, very good. There's your visa.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. All right, let's go back over it again.
Okay, sir.
All right, so again, in coming into it, you want to be very relaxed and open and free, and just speak, not memorize stuff so much, but just speak it more relaxed, like you're having a conversation with a person, and so you're just like talking with them. Yes, you have a lot of things memorized, but just sort of relax it more into a conversational tone. You're showing good confidence, which is great, and to be honest, again, they're testing your confidence level, that you're very confident in being able to study and to speak in English, communicate in English. They're looking at that very closely. They're also looking at your honesty. And so they can tell by your eyes and your facial expression if you're telling the truth or not. And, uh, and so they're trained for that. So you have to be always give the honest answer. And then number three, they're very concerned about that you're not going to work in the U.S. The reason behind this is because a lot of foreigners have come into the U.S. And they've taken jobs at low rates, and companies pushed out people that were making more money than the actual citizens of the U.S. And so then those citizens would cry out to their representatives in government and say, this is shouldn't take place, and please stop it. So now the government's very careful about not allowing students to work while they're doing their studies in the U.S. And then they're very concerned too about your relatives in the U.S. And if you have relatives in the U.S., automatically a red flag will come up. And so, and then, but your sister is not really living in the U.S. She's doing her studies in the U.S. And
Yes.
so that's a plus point for you. Plus, she's doing her studies in Pennsylvania, and you're doing your studies in Florida, which is quite a distance apart from one another. And so it's not likely that you're going to be able to just
Yes.
jump over to her house
Yes.
and jump your visa. So so that's a good plus point for you. And then they want to make sure you're coming back to your home country. So you need to have very clear in your mind: I'm coming back to
Okay.
Nepal. I have a good plan that I'm developing
Yes.
of working in aviation sector, and so I'm already developing contacts where I can apply for jobs, and I'm already looking at opportunities that I can use the skills that I gain in my training, and so those things are very important. That you're confident you're coming back to Nepal, and what you'll be doing when you come back to Nepal, your future,
Mhm.
your ultimate plan, your
Yes.
career dreams, and so those need to be very clear before you. One thing you can do is develop a dream board. That is some pictures of things that you can see yourself in the future. For instance, there's a little dream board up on the wall here. It shows a jet flying. I love that I'll be flying in the future, and I'm graduating. So from the training, so I'm excited. I'm traveling to these countries, and I'm having a happy family together. And so all what your dreams for the future are, and how this training that you get in the US will be helpful for that, for your own dream, for your family, for your community, and for your nation of
Mhm.
Nepal. US is also very concerned about that foreign students are able to go back and be a benefit to their home country. And so you coming back with the skills that you gain in the US will be beneficial if you do your studies well to your home
Mhm.
country and your home community. So this is very good, Amish. You've done a great job today. Just keep practicing and take time to watch the U.S.
Yes. News.
news
Yes.
every day and repeat it in a mirror. Watch a few sentences, two, three sentences, then repeat it back in the mirror just the way that you heard it and watched it. And so that you're making that same sound that they were making, their pronunciation, the grammar, the vocabulary, everything's becoming very familiar to you, and you're able to express it in the same way. And that way you'll be able to communicate well, and you'll be able to understand when people are talking with you very easily, and they'll be able to understand you very easily. And so that's very important right now as you're developing and preparing to study in the US. Any questions, Amish?
Sir, does clothes really matter in the interview?
Close.
Yes.
Okay, let's go over the pronunciation
Okay.
of that too.
Clothes. Clothes.
Close,
Okay, sir.
close. Just like close the door, we don't really pronounce that T and H so much, so it's close. Yeah, wear your clothes. And and there's just maybe a slight TH sound, but more of it just an sound, close. And so and it's just run together. It's not like clothes, it's close,
Clothes. Okay.
close. Like you close the door, basically, similar to that. Okay, and so that's a U.S. pronunciation. And so do clothes really matter? Just neat and sharp like you're wearing today. That's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine, sir.
And maybe I would recommend not a dark color, but a lighter color. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. And
And uh, in a visa interview practice like this,
yeah.
have you ever rejected someone's visa?
Have I? Yes, I have. Yeah.
You have
hmm
rejected?
Yeah. That we had a student just the very first time not understanding what
Mhm.
about the visa rules, and asked her, are you planning to work in the U.S.? Yes, I'm planning to work. And how long will you stay in the U.S.? Well, I plan to stay several years, and uh,
Okay.
and so and she didn't know, that there are
Okay.
certain
Oh.
rules. So, yeah.
So,
So
is this type of interview okay for me to get a visa?
is this the what you're doing now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, but your pronunciation, you need to work on your pronunciation to develop it, make it very clear. And so I understand. I've been living in Nepal for 7 years,
7 years.
so I can understand you well. But others may have a little difficulty in understanding some of the words that you're speaking. And so working on your pronunciation, watching those videos of the news, and then imitating that exact pronunciation. Amish. That will be
Yes.
very helpful. Do spend some time with it so you can really practice imitating that, mimicking it very nicely. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, that I remember in India that in Mumbai that
Mhm.
my brother came to visit me, and we met one young lady there, and he said she speaks with an American accent. She ever visited, been living and lived in the U.S. and said no, but she learned to mimic very well. So she's watched a lot of
Oh,
programs and she's
okay.
listened whenever she met Americans how they speak, and she
Mhm.
does it almost perfect imitation. And she picks it up and she imitates it perfectly. I also met a young man that's studying at New Zealand in New Zealand right now. I met him at Lakeside,
Mhm.
and his English was very American. And I said, how did you develop your English? And he said, I just watched American movies, and then whenever I met Americans, I would try to talk with them and imitate the way that they spoke, and so it's a skill to be developed for us, and we can develop that skill and become very good in giving an American
Yes.
pronunciation. So I met many students studying in the U.S. and by their fourth year that they're speaking very much like an American, and uh, and so that's you want to try as much as possible to speak just like an American before you get there, because that way on the get go that you'll be able to um, be understand people and be able to be understood by people immediately. So you get off the plane and you say, "Hi, I'm Amish. What's your name?" And my name's Charlie. Wow, nice to meet you, Charlie. Where are you from? I'm from Indiana. Indiana. Wow, that sounds like a great place. And how are you doing your studies here? And are you training here at the institute? Yes, I am. And how long have you been here? I just got here. And great, I just got here too. We'll be classmates. And so you build friendships quickly, and you don't know, the friendship could last for a few months, or the friendship could last for your full life. And so what you want is to last for full life, because you never know the opportunity that sometime in an international fleet that your friend may remember you, Amish, and man, there was a really sharp guy that did really well in his studies at flight school, and he's really friendly and helpful and a really nice guy, and I think he'd be great on our team. And so let me call him, and so he'd be in touch with you and say, Amish, come and join our team. We're flying in here in this country, and
Yes.
and we'd love to have you. And so, or come over for a trip. We're going to have an aviation workshop coming up, and we want you to come and be a trainer for it. And so you just don't know what opportunities can come through friendships and building those good friendships. So prepare yourself by working on your pronunciation